Just wanted to make a quick video on the Jedi Cal version of the Bracca special mission for people who aren't able to stream in the guild, and if this is generally useful for other people, then fantastic. So just to start with, you can focus on health or protection with Seer. It doesn't really matter. Unlike the version with Baby Cow, she does not want to be slow. She doesn't have to be this fast, but just some speed is good. In our guild, we also like a crit avoid arrow. So armor, health, protection, crit avoid, all the good things make her fast. Jedi Cal, similarly, we like a crit avoid arrow here. And then similar stuff, you want them fast. Faster than 280. If you want to do a speed set, that's reasonable. My health is a little bit on the lower end just because I have a defense set. So our benchmark has been like 112k health. But I like having the extra armor. So it's all fine. It's not super mod intensive. So we'll go ahead and do the mission here. The nice thing about the Jedi Cal version is that you generally just want to follow Jedi Cal's normal flow. Usually I like to start in the defensive stance. You have to do a total of like 3 stance shifts, and so starting in defense gives you 2 turns in the defensive stance instead of just 1, which just leaves you open to fewer shenanigans. There we go. So there's an important moment. So while we're in the defensive stance, we have riposte and retribution. So we counterattack. We counterattacked into the probe droid. It doesn't look like it, but his health is under 100%. Because we counterattacked with riposte, we counter under protection. That makes him eligible to blow up. So the only real nuance to this mission is if you counterattack into the probe droid with riposte, then you need to stay in the defensive stance. So normally I'd be switching to Whirlwind Slam, the offensive stance, but instead I'm going to stay in windmill defense. Seer, I'd just like to alternate. Okay, there we go, he did blow up. Okay, we countered into the probe droid, but we did not have riposte there. Because you only gain riposte the first time when you didn't have dual wield configuration at the start of your turn. So even though we countered into this new probe droid, we didn't have riposte, so his health is not below 100%. He is not eligible to blow up. So we are going to follow the normal program of switching to an offensive stance. We're focusing all our damage on the left Purge Trooper, since we're going to be instant killing the one on the right. So, okay, we'll go back into defense stance, our happy place. Counterattacking them doesn't matter. Okay. We're safe. We never countered a probe droid with riposte here, so we're good to annihilate this Purge Trooper. The only other, I was just using that to dispel the offense up. It's not a big deal. Seer's skills don't really matter too much. Generally, I think it's decent to just alternate between tenacity up and use protection up when you can. So we're in defensive stance. I'm going to go offensive stance to get another armor shred. Although once you're already at 30 stacks of the impetuous, it doesn't matter a ton. Also note Jedi Cal recovers 30% protection. Where's that guy? At the beginning, yeah, there we go. Jedi allies recover 30% protection at the start of their turn. Okay. I could stay in offensive stance. I could switch to defensive stance. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to stay in offense just to prove a point. The one thing is I like to end the wave in the offensive stance. Again, so when I'm switching stances, I get 2 turns in the defensive stance during wave 2 where the damage is a little more severe. So that's one reason I'm just kind of staying in the leftmost stance here. So I'm just trying to kill him naturally with Cal's attacks here. There we go. We're good. All right. So we'll start off Again, we're going to put our damage into the Purge Trooper since we're going to annihilate the second sister. So we'll go defensive stance, the dual wield. Alright, so we didn't counter into the probe droid, so we're good to stay on program here. This isn't going to do like any damage yet, so we're still just going to stay on basics and specials. Okay, back to defensive stance. We'll go middle for protection up, no big deal, doesn't matter a ton. Alright, so important note here, we did not counterattack into the probe droid, so we're good to annihilate. If we had counterattacked into the probe droid with riposte, we would not be going to get the instant kill on second sister, because we would be left in the most vulnerable stance. So, crossguard configuration, minus 25% defense and speed. So you're not going to get into your next stance as quickly, and you're going to be more vulnerable. If he blows up when you're in crossguard stance, it can literally one-shot him or bring him into the red, making him eligible for Purge Trooper to kill him. So if we had counterattacked into the probe droid here, even though we're eligible to kill second sister with crossguard stance, do not do it, stay in defensive stance. Since he didn't counter into the probe droid with riposte, we're fine though. Okay. Generally, I like to just save this until the Purge Trooper's into health, because that's when it will usually get the kill. And here, it doesn't really matter. If you feel more comfortable staying in off defensive stance there instead of going into offense, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. But we're just generally going to swap between War 1 Slam and Windmill defense here. And since he's low enough on health, I'll nuke him, and yep, there we go. There's the kill. So that's it. It's pretty dead simple. Just the one trick about stay in defensive stance until he explodes if you counter into the probe droid. And even if he doesn't he won't guaranteed explode the next turn. Might take 2 turns, might take 3 turns. Just be patient. Stay in defensive stance. Turtle up. You won't die. It'll be fine. So I think this is, if not 100%, pretty darn close to 100% win rate with this strategy. Thanks for listening.